Hello YouTube. Previously, when I was talking about Wuthering Waves, it was the only game installed on my phone. The games that I wanted to play at the time were too large for me to install, like Honkai Star Rail, and I could install PGR, Punishing Grey Raven, but as I mentioned before, I can't really play it on mobile. It requires a lot of dodging and other combat skills that I can't do on my phone. And I can't really see it that well, like it doesn't look visually appealing enough for me to keep on trying. I have that problem with Wuthering Waves too, because right now I haven't actually played it in a while. Like I missed a couple of events, or I think one event in it. I was pulling for Jian and I didn't get him. I didn't have enough pulls, and I think I could have gotten enough pulls during his banner if I played more, I guess, but I didn't. And the reason why, the sole reason why is because, well, there's two reasons. Because of how laggy it is. It's playable, sure, but it's still very laggy. And I have to reduce the quality of the visuals, the quality of the graphics so low that it also doesn't look visually appealing. It's almost like it's foggy, not blurry. Foggy, I think, is the right word. So I felt the need to download something else to fill these gaps, like something that's visually appealing and it's also the gameplay is also interesting. So I tried Reverse 1999, which I tried on release and played it for a little bit, then abandoned it, but I decided to revisit it again. I played it for a few days again, and then again I let it go. The game looks so good. The story is really interesting. The characters, they look really good and they are very interesting as well. There are many different characters, like there are things in the game that are characters, like Sputnik, for example, is a character. There is a piece of this cosmic, it's a cosmic shard of something, and it's called Door, which is supposedly a very powerful character, but of course in the game it's just like a two-star character. He's not that powerful, but it's still interesting. Most of the characters are like that. They're very, very interesting. And the game looks really good, like I just said, so the visual appeal thing is there. And on my phone, I don't have to reduce the quality much too for it to work well. Especially because it's turn-based, so even if movements are laggy, like some abilities, for example, especially ultimate animations, can get laggy sometimes on my phone, but because it's turn-based, I already decided what I'm going to do. I already did the moves. If it gets laggy, that's okay. With turn-based games, there are mainly, how do I say this? Yeah, turn-based games are generally mobile-friendly, no matter how laggy it is. Still works if you can actually make it work, if you can give the commands, you know. With something that's more dynamic, like Wuthering Waves and PGR, you can try to dodge, but if it gets laggy, you could actually get comboed into the ground or into the freaking grave, and you wouldn't even know what hit you, and you might not realize that you're actually dead until like a few seconds later or something. Suddenly you're dead and you don't know why. But the problem with Reverse 1999, and the reason why I uninstalled it again, is because I found the gameplay very boring. Which is, I think, the same reason why I abandoned it on release, shortly after release, when I tried it for the first time. The game looks really good. It's a shame that it's this boring. I mean, they have a roguelike system, mode in the game, similar to what they have in HSR, or now what we have in Wuthering Waves, which sadly I haven't tried yet. Because there's this event that I need to do first. I'm pretty sure I can do the roguelike mode now, but I want to finish that event first, but I just don't feel like playing the game right now. I jump in a little bit once a week or so, I don't know. I haven't played it in a while. Sometimes I open the game and then once it opens I just close the game again. But it's not on Wuthering Waves, it's on me. I just need a better phone. And one day I'm gonna get that. But anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, Reverse 1999 has a roguelike mode, but it is boring as well. There's a few things that you can do to spice things up, but you run out of those things. So you can do like a few runs that are interesting, but once you know how it works, it's not that interesting anymore. Especially that the way I play these games generally is not like, I don't care about dailies or weeklies or end game. I jump into the game, play it for the gameplay itself. Like in Wuthering Waves, I sometimes, if I don't like an event, same thing I used to do with Genshin. I try the event once. If I don't like it, I'm not gonna complete it no matter what the rewards are. I'm not gonna play it. I'm gonna keep doing what I do, which is mainly roaming in the overworld, hunting monsters and putting different characters in my teams and killing monsters with them and making things. And that's what's interesting to me. The gameplay itself, the core gameplay, the combat mechanics, how the characters play. I don't care what they look like if their gameplay is interesting. And hunt monsters and just fight. That's it. If Wuthering Waves, if I had a better phone than this, or my PC wasn't a potato as well, and I could actually play it more smoothly and it looked better, I would be doing this every day. Log in, fight for a while, just hunt monsters and capture them and stuff, and get out. That's it. I try to do that with Reverse 1999. I don't care about the in-game, which also isn't interesting. It's actually very restrictive. You have to build certain characters and put them in certain teams. One of the characters that I found very interesting is the character called Satsuki, but she only fits in pretty much one team. She needs specific teammates that I don't have. You can play her in the roguelike mode, but it's very boring in there. And generally, because every character has like 3 moves or something, it can be interesting for a little while, but then you run out of interesting things to do and you get out. That's it. You can try different characters, you can try to do certain different builds in the roguelike mode, for example, but I don't know, man. It's not for me. I'm not gonna blame the game that much. It's not for me. What else did I try? Oh yeah, I reinstalled Wild Rift, which is League of Legends for mobile. It's also released by Riot, who's making League of Legends, so it's the same API. Is that what it's called? The same characters and universe and all of that. It's the same, pretty much the same game, but for mobile. But they can't make it as dependent on strategy as League of Legends PC is. So right now they are trying, or you can see that they are drifting towards what Mobile Legends is, which is basically, there's a few characters that are like the meta characters. Pick one of them, deal damage, keep fighting and fighting and fighting, and that's it. So playing, I mainly played support because, well, I talked about how laggy my phone, how weak my phone is before. Some other characters or some other roles which are even more interesting to me, like mid and Baron lane, for example, and even jungle, are too complicated for me, and the characters are too, it needs more skill. I'm pretty good at support. I know how to play that role already, and But right now, you can't like play enchanters. It's a huge mess in the game anyway. The ranked system and the matching as well. Like you no matter how well you play, you get matched with people who drag you down and you end up losing. Sure, you can say it's kinda your fault, but if the whole team is inting, some very good players can still carry the whole team. So it's like the 1v9 thing when you play against your own team and the other team, not just the other team. But I'm not that good. I'm not gonna deny it. I play the game for fun. I'm not an expert. I'm not a pro player. I suck. I'm not that bad, but I'm not that good either. So usually I need to support someone who is carrying. I can't carry myself. Believe me, I try. But dude, sometimes I try to make those plays, like for example, something that's very simple. What's he called? That support tank, the bull with the horns. I don't know. I don't remember what he's called. But anyway, he has this combo where you press one skill and he runs to the enemy. He jumps on the enemy, and you need to press this another skill, the first skill. At that moment, when your character lands on the enemy, press the first skill and you hit the ground and you CC the enemy. Basically, you kind of stun them. You have to do these in that same sequence, and you have to know what you're doing here, and you have to land it at exactly that moment. Like you have to time it well. Can't do that because it lags. So usually what I end up doing is just jumping on the enemy and send them way back. Because when you do that without the first skill, when you do the second skill that jumps on the enemy alone, raw, you just hit them back, you send them back, you send them away. But when you jump on them and then hit the ground or slam the ground like that, you CC them. But anyway, I can't do that. God, I don't remember the character's name. I'm not gonna remember it. Anyway, there are combos that you just can't do on. You need a better phone to do them, and then when you're actually able to do them, you have to learn how to do them. So you play a few matches, and then when you get more skillful with that character, you play them. It's gonna take a long time from someone like me to be able to carry a freaking team with a character like that. Or with any character for that matter, because I can't even carry with characters that I'm good with, like Seraphine, for example, or Karma, or Oriana, who plays mid, but I can't play that role because it needs a lot of macro knowledge that I don't have, because again, I'm not that great. Anyway, so I don't play ranked right now. Instead, I play this like single player mode that they have in the game, which doesn't give you rewards or does anything at all. It's basically like a training grounds. I hope they actually do something. Like, I don't like playing with others in general. I don't want to play 5 versus 5. I don't want to play with humans. I want to play I play the game itself because I like how it looks, and again, I like the combat mechanics. That's it. I like how the characters play, how the gameplay is, how the game looks, because it looks very polished, it looks really good. But I don't like the premise, 5 versus 5. That is what I don't like. So if the game had like an adventure mode or something, where you use these same characters with these same abilities and the game looks the way it looks, but you don't play with humans, I would love that. And right now, that's sort of how I treat it. Whenever I want to play it, I go in, I play a match versus AI where my team is full of bots and we play versus 5 more bots. The game is brain dead, of course. A match like that, you're not gonna have to think that much, but somehow I still enjoy it. I enjoy this much more than ranked. I get to play many more characters that I can't actually play in ranked. Like, I can play Baron lane, I can play mid, I freaking play jungle too, because it doesn't really matter. You win no matter what, pretty much. So I love that. They added a few things to it actually, and when I returned to it, when I reinstalled it, I found out that they did a few things to it that improved that experience, this AI versus AI experience, which I absolutely love. So this is what I'm doing in Wild Rift right now. Again, not caring about ranked. I don't care about the rewards. If I want to, if I like an icon or something in the rewards and I have to play ranked to get that, I play 2 matches a day or something. I try to win 2 matches a day. No, I play 2 matches a day even if I lose. And if I really need a win, I play in co-op against also AI. Still playing with humans, but what are you gonna do? You want the rewards, so you have to suffer. But otherwise, I try not to care that much about the rewards and just play in that training ground or whatever you want to call it, and that's it. I have a few other games installed now on my phone, like Wild Frost, which I just installed it today and just trying to have fun with it a little bit, but I'm not smart enough to be that good at deck builders, which is why even though I like Legends of Runeterra, which is one of the games released by Riot, there's, in my opinion, I don't know, like they did a few things in Legends of Runeterra that in my opinion are bad design. For example, to make a level difficult, instead of doing something like a puzzle where you have to actually think to be able to beat that level, they instead, on turn 1, it's a turn-based deck builder game. You jump into the level, and once you go in on turn 1, the whole enemy's board is filled with units who are empowered, immortal. Their health is like 30, their attack is like 50. It's just so bad. You're dead. No matter what you do, you're dead. Unless you're a freaking genius, you're dead. Because I've watched players like YouTubers, content creators who are really good at the game, and they are dead. No matter what you do, you're dead. That's bad design. This is a deck builder game that I'm talking about a mode in there, that's the adventure mode, which is designed to be roguelike. When you start an adventure, as you beat node by node or level by level or battle by battle, you get rewards, you add more cards, like you choose to add more cards to your deck, more abilities. It's the design in there are roguelike elements, especially again in the adventure mode. I never play PvP in that game. And Riot abandoned PvP anyway and trying to focus on PvE mode, which is this adventure roguelike mode, but they're doing a really, really bad job with it. So someone like me can't defeat difficult levels. And by difficult levels, I mean like the easy levels are half star, 1 star, 1 star and a half. Once it goes up to 2 stars, some adventures are ridiculously easy, even at 2 stars, and some of them are weirdly difficult. One node could have some power that's just stupid and you lose the game because of that. Games are supposed to be fun, and in roguelike games specifically, you're supposed to feel like you're freaking immortal, like you're a freaking god. But instead, they try to balance the game, and once a developer says that, I'm like, oh my god, what balance are you talking about? I'm playing against AI. Make me have fun and win. That's it. I'm not like... The game is supposed, like I was just talking about Wild Rift and how I play versus AI in general in a freaking training ground, and I still have fun because the gameplay itself is fun. So you're supposed to make the gameplay fun. There's many other roguelike games that do that. The roguelike system in HSR, and I haven't played HSR for a while to be fair, but last time I played it, they're doing a great job with the roguelike mode in the game. You feel powerful. Yeah, some battles are challenging, but you can win them if you just think and strategize. If you do that well. Not if you're a god at that. Because even if you are, believe me, in Legends of Runeterra, even if you're a god, you're going to get your butt kicked. So that's why I don't like it. But I still reinstalled it like last night, and I can't open it right now because it has a logging in stuck on logging in screen issue. And I went in Reddit to check, and it's not happening to just me. It's happening to everyone. And Riot is investigating right now. Oh man. And there are rewards that are locked behind monthly challenges, which are even more ridiculous than the adventure things that I was just talking about. So I can never do these monthly challenges. Again, I want to play a game. I'm a casual player, okay? I wanna go into the game, play a little bit, not sweat it, not grind, play a little bit and go out. And if I want to grind, that grind should be fun. It's not a job. It should be fun. Even grinding should be fun. What I intend to do right now with Legends of Runeterra is go in, play against 1-star adventure or something with a character I really like, and get out. I kid you not, in one of those 1-star adventures, or I think it's 1.5 stars, I don't remember. It has this battle, this node that you have to. It's like a mini boss, okay, and you have to get through them to get to the boss and win the adventure. Otherwise, you give up here before you fight this mini boss, and you get just very few rewards, like experience points and stuff. This boss is a character called Ash. Those who are familiar with League of Legends characters know who Ash is. But she basically here, in this game, she freezes you. And when she does that, she causes your attack to become, she reduces your attack by 2-0. No matter how much your attack is, it becomes 0. And then at some point, she causes any units you have whose attacks have been reduced by that ability to 0 to not be able to attack at all. It can't, oh god, it can't defend. It already can't attack, but it also can't defend your own base. So you can't even sacrifice these units. It's really frustrating, and for me, if I'm playing with a not that powerful character, I probably will get defeated here, or the battle is gonna take too long for its rewards. It's just, it's not worth it. So usually I play in that adventure, the first 3 battles before that mini boss, and then I just quit that adventure and restart, quit that adventure and restart, just to be able to fight and have fun. So that's what I intend to do again. I really hate it when developers do these things, and many people complained about this, but also many people said these games should be challenging. No, they don't. You should give this and this to the players. You should give people the option, for example, to decrease the power of their own characters to, like, how do I say this? In this game, there's something like a constellation system that you unlock for your character, and the more you unlock in it for your character, you give them more abilities and more powers. You can't go backwards, you can't go back down, like you can't deselect some of these abilities and mix and match here. Like for example, each character has 6, I think, right now, of these abilities that you take a long time and you have to suffer a lot, especially right now with a few certain updates that they made recently. to be able to unlock any of these, you have to suffer a lot. Anyway, let's say you unlock 5 of these abilities, but you want to deselect or deactivate the 3rd one. So you want the 1st, 2nd, 4th, and 5th, and you don't want you don't want the 3rd one to be. Why did I pick 3 for it specifically? You don't want this one to be activated. You want to play a game without this ability. You want to just see how it's like, especially if you're a content creator and you just want to make it more challenging for yourself. You should be able to do that. And it's bad design that you can't. It's like Bennett's C6 ability in Genshin Impact, that if you unlock it, you basically constrict that specific character of being able to be in some teams. You can only play him now in certain teams. You can't play him in other teams. You should be able to deactivate that ability, or whatever abilities you want, whatever constellation abilities you want, to be able to fit these characters in any teams, to make the game more versatile or more challenging or whatever. This is one of the things that they should do, but they don't. It's not in the game. Once your champion is on 6 stars, they are too powerful for some adventures, and some adventures are still very challenging for them. No. You should be able to make some easy things challenging, or some difficult things easier. You're supposed to be able to play. Just be able to play. I'm not saying that it doesn't have to be challenging. It can be challenging, okay, fine, but it also shouldn't have to be all the time. Games are mainly supposed to be fun, not challenging, especially for someone like me, I have enough problems that it is real life is challenging enough for me, believe me. I don't need games which I'm using to escape from my challenging reality to be as difficult, or even sometimes even more difficult than my reality. Video games are supposed to be an escape, and they're supposed to be fun. This is ridiculous. Anyway, I don't have any other games that are like worth mentioning really, so this is just all I wanted to say. So yeah, and I also don't want a video to be too long. It's already 30 minutes now. My previous one was 1 hour.